Hello students, welcome back to Tutoratti. My name is Nainika and you are studying English with me. So students, in the last lecture we had done the second part of Glimpses of India, okay, which was Coorg, okay, and I had told you that we will be studying the third part, which is tea from Assam. As we all know, in Coorg, in that chapter, we had done about the coffee plantations. We had learnt about how in Karnataka, in a district called Coorg, there were coffee plantations everywhere. Now, we all know coffee का एक बहुत बड़ा substitute होता है tea. Alright, and where is tea grown? Majorly in Assam. So we will see, we will discover a lot of facts about tea, like how tea leaves were discovered, how it was started, how did people start drinking tea, or how is it grown, everything. So this story is written by Arup Datta, and in this he, unlike the previous lecture about Coorg, the writer Lokesh Abrol, he had written an article about Coorg. Now unlike that, this is very different. This whole chapter is in the form of a story. Okay, it's a story about two friends. Okay, Rajiv, the first one is Rajiv and the second one is Pranjol. Both of them are traveling in a train. Okay, now they are two friends who are sitting in a train and they are going to Pranjol's house, which is in Assam. Alright, Pranjal is a person who has grown up in these gardens of Assam. He has seen a lot of it, while Rajvir, the other one, he has never been to Assam and he has never seen those tea plantations and tea estates. Alright, so Rajvir is the one who is very, very excited upon seeing all this. We all are excited when we look out of the window in a train. So he is the one who is very excited, and Pranjal is the one who is very, he has a very laid back attitude. Now, why there is a difference in these two attitudes, we already know, because Pranjal, he has grown up there and he has seen a lot of it, while this person, Rajvir, it is a first time for him. Okay, so it is a conversation between Pranjal and Rajvir, and after they reach Pranjal's place, there is also a conversation on the topic tea between Rajvir and Pranjal's father. Okay, now let's look at how the conversation is. Now remember, the scene is both of them are in a train, and train mein what is the most popular beverage that people have? Of course students, it is chai garam chai. A vendor called out in a high pitched voice. Alright, we all know, we all try to imitate that. We have all done this once in a lifetime. He came up to their window and asked, "Chai sahab, give us 2 cups, Pranjal said. They sipped the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? Rajvir said. As I told you, Rajvir is the one who is more excited about tea. So he has done his research on tea and he is very enthusiastically telling Pranjal that, do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? So, but Pranjal, he is not very interested in tea. So he says, "Phew," exclaimed Pranjal, "tea is very popular." The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. So as I told you, Pranjal is not very interested. He has grown up there. So he might as well, he thought that I'll read a detective book. So he is not looking out of the window. He is just into his book. Now we'll see how does Rajvir react to it. Rajvir too was an ardent fan of detective stories, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. So as we can see, Rajvir was also a person who was very, very interested in detective stories. He found them very amusing, but abhi uske paas usse bhi zyada interesting kuch tha. Okay, the tea estate outside. It was green everywhere. Rajvir had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to the tea bushes. When they were traveling, usually जब हम trains में travel करते हैं तो हमें paddy fields, rice fields दिखते हैं, because most of the India states they cultivate rice. Okay, so जब वो और travel करने लगे, when the train started moving towards Assam, at that time those green paddy fields, they vanished and these tea estates started appearing. It was a magnificent view. Against the backdrop of densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could see. Dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade trees, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes, busily moved doll-like figures. Okay, so students, this whole sentence is in the form of a metaphor. उन्होंने directly कुछ भी नहीं बोला है. Okay, they have explained it in indirect comparison. Now they are saying कि बहुत सारे दे वो ऑर्डरली. नाउ दीज टी प्लांट्स वो यूजुअली शॉर्ट बुशेस होते हैं. ऑलराइट, तो बहुत किलोमीटर्स तक ऐसे शॉर्ट बुशेस थे एंड बियॉन्ड दैट टॉल ट्रीज थे. ऑलराइट, and look at the last line, they were saying amidst the orderly rows of bushes, means वो tea plantations के बीच बीच में busily moved doll like figures. तो वो doll like figures क्या थे students? Of course it was the ladies there who were plucking tea leaves. Alright, आप आसाम के टी एस्टेट के अगर कोई फोटोज अगर आप गूगल करके भी देखोगे तो you will see that there are these ladies, alright, who wear a specific type of costume and they carry a bag behind them and they pluck the tea leaves and they put it in the bag behind. तो जब राजवीर ट्रेन से देख रहा था, he of course could not recognize that they were human beings, but he knew that ये doll like figures जो इधर उधर मूव कर रहे हैं बहुत छोटे छोटे दिख रहे थे ना उसको. So he knew that these are the ladies who were plucking the tea leaves. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. Hey, a tea garden! Rajvir cried excitedly. Pranjol, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, didn't share Rajvir's excitement. So as I told you before, Pranjol, he had been brought up there and that is why he was not at all interested in looking outside the window. उसने बचपन से सिर्फ यही देखा है. So बचपन से हम जो देख रहे हैं, will not be interested in that. But Rajvir, on seeing a tea garden and then the smoke coming out of the chimney, alright, he was very excited on seeing that. Oh, this is the tea country now, he said. Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. So now Pranjal said, without any enthusiasm, he says that, oh, this is just a tea plantation. यहाँ पर इतने plantations है that आप lifetime देखते रह जाओगे. I've been reading as much as I could about tea, Rajvir said. So before coming to Pranjol's house, he was very excited to learn about Assam and he had done his homework. He had read a lot about tea so that he could come here and just verify those facts कि जो मैंने पढ़ा है, जो मैंने सीखा है वो सही है क्या. No one really knows who discovered tea. But there are many legends. Now students, legends क्या होते हैं? Usually जो हमारे grandmothers, great grandmothers usually हमको stories सुनाते हैं ना कि टी ऐसे invent हुआ था, वैसे invent हुआ था. तो वैसे ही आसाम में बहुत सारे legends है, बहुत सारे stories है about how tea was discovered. तो now Rajvir is very interested. वो बोल रहा है what legends? Well, there's the one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. ओके तो ये एक स्टोरी सुना रहा है कि जब एक चाइनीज एम्परर था उसको पानी पीने से पहले ही ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू बॉईल इट. सो वन डे व्हाट हैपेंड, वन डे अ फ्यू लीव्स ऑफ द ट्विग्स burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. So उस ज़माने में ऐसे गैस स्टोव्स या इंडक्शन स्टोव्स नहीं होते थे. वी ऑल नो दैट. वो कैसे पानी उबालते थे? दे यूज टू टेक वुड फ्रॉम द ट्रीज, कट लॉग्स एंड स्टेम्स एंड ब्रांचेस एंड दे उसको एक प्लेस पे ऐसे जमा करते थे एंड दे यूज टू लाइट अ फायर एंड प्लेस पॉट्स, अर्दन प्लॉट्स और क्ले पॉट्स ऑन दैट एंड उस पर खाना बनाते थे. टी भी उसी में बनता था. सो वन डे व्हाट हैड हैपेंड, जो पेड़ के वो स्टेम्स एंड ब्रांचेस को जला रहे थे ना, उस ब्रांचेस में से कुछ पत्ते उस पानी में गिर गए. ओके, एंड देन व्हेन द एम्परर ड्रैंक इट, इट हैड अ डिलिशियस फ्लेवर. इट इज सेड दैट दे वर टी लीव्स. तो ऐसे डिस्कवर हुआ टी. ऑलराइट, दिस इज अ लेजेंड. नोबडी नोज वेदर इट इज ट्रू और नॉट, बट दिस इज अ पॉसिबल स्टोरी. Tell me another, scoffed Pranjal. Okay, so Rajvir ने इतना कुछ पढ़ लिया था टी के बारे में. Now he is telling Pranjal. We have an Indian legend too. Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic, ascetic means a hermit, cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditations. Now this is a very dangerous thing to do. Of course he could not meditate उनको ध्यान नहीं रहता था, ही यूज्ड टू फील स्लीपी एंड दैट इज़ वाई उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने आईलिड्स को कट कर दिया. ओके, एंड 10 टी प्लांट्स ग्रू आउट ऑफ द आईलिड्स. ऐसा कहा जाता है दैट व्हेन ही कट ऑफ दोज आईलिड्स, उनके आईलिड्स में से 10 टी प्लांट्स निकले. The leaves of these plants when put in hot water and drunk banished sleep. Okay, तो आपने बहुत लोगों को बोलते हुए सुना है that when you are feeling sleepy have a cup of tea. ऐसा बोलते हैं ना लोग, that चाय पीने से आपकी नींद उड़ जाती है. So this theory comes from this legend that Bodhidharma, who was an ascetic, he had cut off his eyelids and उनकी आँखों में से पत्ते बाहर आए थे and that is called tea. वो आप पीते हो इसलिए आपकी नींद उड़ जाती है, बिकॉज उन्होंने अपने आईलिड्स इसलिए कट किए थे बिकॉज ही डिडंट वांट टू स्लीप व्हाइल मेडिटेशन. ओके, सो दिस इज अगेन नॉट ट्रू, बट येस इट इज अ स्टोरी. टी वॉज फर्स्ट ड्रंक इन चाइना, राजवीर एडेड, as far back as 2700 BC. In fact, words such as tea, chai and chini are from Chinese. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century and was drunk more as medicine than as beverage. So in today's time we drink tea as a beverage. Okay, हम ऐसे ही उसको पीते हैं for relaxation purposes. उस टाइम में in Europe, when from the Chinese when it came to Europe, उस टाइम पे it was drunk as a medicine. टी के बहुत सारे medicinal properties भी होते हैं. The train clattered into Mariani Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way through the crowded platform. Pranjol's parents were waiting for them. Alright, so अभी वो प्रांजल के घर पे जो स्टेशन नियरेस्ट है वहाँ पे पहुँच चुके हैं and Pranjol's parents are waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards Dhekiabadi, the tea garden managed by Pranjol's father. An hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dhekiabadi tea estate. Okay, so Dhekiabadi tea estate was a tea estate which was managed by Pranjol's father. Okay, that is why अब Pranjol यही देखते हुए बड़ा हुआ है. So he was not much interested and Rajvir, he was seeing it for the first time. On both sides of the gravel road were acre upon acre of tea bushes. Acre is a measurement of land, okay? All neatly pruned to the same height. Neatly pruned to the same height means all those tea plantations were cut to the same height to make it look very neat. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. Okay, जो हमने पढ़ा था ना वो doll like figures जो move कर रहे थे. So now Rajveer could see कि actually वो doll like figures क्या थे. Okay, they were the tea pluckers. Bamboo baskets पे पीछे लेते थे and those leaves they used to pluck and put it in the basket. Pranjol's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. This is the second flush or sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked. Okay, so Rajveer, as we can see, he has learnt a lot about tea. उसने बहुत पढ़ के आया है वो, and then he is asking Pranjol's father that ये second flush है ना of the sprouting period. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjol's father said in surprise. So Pranjol के father क्यों surprised थे? Because a person who had not lived there, उसको टी के बारे में वो फर्स्ट फ्लश है या सेकेंड फ्लश है, कौन सा टी का टेस्ट बेस्ट होता है, उसे कैसे पता? ओके, ही न्यू दैट राजवीर वहाँ का नहीं है. So that is why he is so surprised that राजवीर को ये सब कैसे पता. That means he has read a lot about tea. Yes, Mr. Barua, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I am here. Okay, so this conversation ends by Rajveer saying that I hope to learn much more. Okay, सब कुछ पढ़ के जानना and actually visiting there, both are two very different experiences, children. Alright, so Rajveer ने पढ़ाई तो बहुत की थी टी के बारे में, but he actually wanted to visit, which he has already done now, and then he says that he hopes to learn more while he is here. So this was the last and final glimpse of India of this chapter. The first one, the baker from Goa, second one Coorg, and the third one was tea from Assam. If you have understood all the three chapters perfectly, students, you are going to get at least 3 extract type questions on this. Alright, so please practice them very well. Okay students, so if you have understood this, please like the video, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.